In the autumn of 1997, the Academy of Arts in Banska Bystrica shipped out into the stormy waters of Slovakian higher education. It became the third public university of arts providing education between the Tatras and the Danube in the theory and practice of the fields of music, art, drama, film, and multimedia departments. Thanks to the efforts of the faculty and also the students' work, the Academy of Arts gained, in a relatively short but turbulent history, its serious and stable place in the family of universities in Slovakia. 20 years after its birth, the Academy of Arts has grown into a viable lady with an adventurous biography. We can discover in it a humor, a drama, and sometimes a grain of absurdity. But what is significant is that in 20 years, it has been able to send to the world more than 2,500 talented artists, of which it can be proud. Directly in the interior of the school, you will not find a wall or sidewalk listing the best graduates. Portraits and names of successful graduates need to be searched for in concert halls, galleries, or on theater plates, or film screens in various parts of our country, and also beyond the borders of Slovakia. The Academy of Arts is built on three faculty pillars. The Faculty of Performing Arts, since its inception, focuses on the education of professional concert performers, soloists, chamber and orchestral players, concert and opera singers, composers, and choral conductors. After a successful comprehensive accreditation in 2014, the faculty realizes these studies in two different programs, interpretive art as well as composition, at all three levels of higher education. The main objective of the Department of Composition and conducting the choir is the practical handling of compositional techniques within the musical work, gaining the ability to interpret choral works, as well as acquiring interpersonal experience in teamwork. Since its inception, the Department of Keyboard Instruments has specialized in the preparation of future solo artists, chamber musicians in artistic sets, co-repetitor and pedagogues of piano and accordion in performing art. Significant personalities in artistic life who are currently active at the Department of Orchestral Instruments ensure a higher education in the playing of stringed instruments, as well as in the subdivision of brass instruments. At the Orchestral Instruments Department, a total of 16 musical instruments are taught. The Department of Theoretical Subjects represents basic musical theoretical disciplines, and at the same time represents an essential and fundamental source of professional theoretical knowledge. The purpose of the Vocal Interpretation Department is to prepare a solo singing student to acquire the necessary vocal interpretation skills based on the professional experience of Slovak and foreign vocal schools. The study programs at all levels of higher education are aimed at developing an independent artistic creativity, the ability of innovative and original thinking, resulting in artistic achievements reaching an internationally acceptable level. The Faculty of Performing Arts has the right to perform habilitation and nominate procedures in the performing arts field. The focus of the Faculty of Fine Arts Education is to study the visual language of individual medias in their historical genesis and present day. It systematically develops knowledge in artistic expression and provides a mastery of fine arts that equips students not just with a general art education, but also a subjective artistic expression influenced by their personality. At the present, the faculty provides its students the opportunity to study at the Department of Painting, Graphics, Sculpture and Spatial Production, and New Media at all three levels of higher education. By choosing and focusing on the theoretical subjects, the Department of Theory and History of Fine Arts participates in the goals of the profile study fields and completes the educational potential of the graduates of the program. Study in all three accredited degrees is conceived as a research of contemporary trends in fine arts, in the widest spectrum and in the necessary historical continuity. On the content level, efforts are being made to redefine and legitimize all media and their transitions into social and aesthetic categories. In the thematic area, it examines, analyzes, compares, and evaluates all current social themes that contemporary art is able to reflect. The student is guided in the spirit of the democratic principles of freedom of expression and artistic individualism and visual literacy, which allows, through artistic creation, to freely seek and find their own artistic and human identity.
Raz.
The youngest faculty of dramatic arts was established from the 1st of January 1999 from the Department of Acting and Directing which was previously represented by the Faculty of Performing Arts. Nowadays, students of theatrical and film art coexist in its new premises.
Tady není vidět jenom prach na botách, ale tady je vidět prach na duši. A to je velice přesný, protože si uvědomte, že ten divák, který je tady, vidí absolutně všechno.
In the study program Acting, emphasis is placed on developing the creative dispositions of talented students, not only in the traditional type of drama acting, but also on the development of the interdisciplinary professionals who are ready to realize their creative potential in film, television, and radio art. In the study program Theatrical Dramaturgy and Direction, graduates obtain knowledge of the history of world and Slovak theater. They recognize styles, genres, and practices from theatrical production. The content of the study is based on the individual creativity and a realization of the artwork either in the form of a theater performance or a creation of a dramatic or analytical text. A special chapter is written by the Theater of the Academy of Arts. They do not hide an ambition to start a professional theater under the Irpin Hill, which will provide cultural services to the inhabitants of the city of Banska Bystrica and the surrounding area in the near future. The study program, Film and TV Direction and Screenwriting, focuses on documentary production and is based on traditional professions involved in the making of the film, from the creation of the project through directing, camera, sound, and editing to the final works.
Ja osobne nemám rád výraz youtuber, respektíve nemám rád, keď ma ľudia volajú youtuber, pretože u nás na Slovensku to je už pomaly ako nadávka.
Students can use a non-fiction film as a space to experiment or a preparation for work in the fiction film and thus, according to their personal interest, develop their talents beyond the boundaries of documentary work. Students of the study program focusing on film screenwriting will learn the practical basis of creative practices and methods in the realization of the literary preparation of the film and multimedia work and its dramaturgy. The Art University in Banska Bystrica follows on the best traditions of Slovak musical, art, theatrical, and film art, with the conditions for the birth of the most courageous artistic expressions. The end of a comprehensive accreditation in 2015 meant for the Academy of Arts its incorporation into the University of Slovakia. However, the graduate diploma from the Academy of Art in Banska Bystrica is certainly not just a dream target for students, but rather a means to a path beyond other horizons. The Academy of Arts can be compared with other universities with similar focus, both at home and abroad. In its 20 years, it is sufficiently attractive for future generations. Distinguished and serious, with childish playfulness, but delightful and occasionally disobedient, it simply has its own style thanks to the people who make it. The Academy of Arts in Banska Bystrica has become an integral part of the education system in the Slovak Republic, because without art and culture, society can hardly progress despite all the material prosperity and economic growth.